You're listening to the John and Heidi Show, now featuring the wit and wisdom of Dan Farris.
Okay, dudes, let's walk this sucker.
On Sunny 93.3.
It's the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Mr. Dan Farris. Good day, sir. How are you?
I'm just fine and dandy, just working, man. I got my nose to the grindstone. I'm getting it done because it's important to produce. You got to produce.
Yeah.
And
you get a whole stack of stuff in front of you there, don't you?
I do. I scribbled all kinds of stuff down. These are people you probably don't even know having birthday today. Herman Hesse.
Okay.
I only noted it because I loved some of his books. I've never had the chance to read all of them, but famous author out of Germany actually wrote a little thing called Narcissus and Goldman.
Okay.
But this one you will recognize. He wrote a book called Steppenwolf, which was amazing.
Oh, yeah.
And John Kay and the band Steppenwolf took their name from that book.
Very cool.
There. Now you can relate to something, but not much.
Yeah, Magic Carpet Ride and whatnot.
The founder of Wendy's, Dave Thomas.
Oh, I like Dave.
John likes
I love that story. You know, Wendy's was doing okay. They were always running a distant third in the burger wars behind McDonald's and Burger King. And then, of course, they came out with what was really kind of a wickedly fun ad campaign with the little old lady and the Where's the
Where's
Beef.
the Beef. I remember those.
Now,
Those were fantastic.
What's interesting about that is even though people loved those ads, it didn't really drive market share or increase sales a whole lot.
Really?
It wasn't until Dave Thomas actually became the spokesman for that fast food chain that things really took off.
Yep.
I remember where I was when I found out he died.
So there you go.
It's kind of weird, but I do.
Thurgood Marshall, Supreme Court Justice from 1967 to 1991, and the very first African-American Supreme Court Justice. Born this day as well. What's going on historically? This was huge. I wasn't quite born yet, but 1955, if you turned on the TV that evening, Lawrence Welk Show premieres on ABC.
I heard that there were a lot of people that watched that.
Yeah, well, he's the, North Dakota boy. Yeah, as we used to go to Sunday Mass growing up, then we'd go, how do I even want to say this? We'd go to the Green Keg Tavern over northeast because my Uncle Ace, that was right after Mass.
Yeah, of course.
My dad, what a character. And then off to Grandma's house.
To watch Lawrence
We'd
Welk.
have a late meal, and that night we'd always tune in either Lawrence Welk or Disney, of course. So
nice.
Yeah, that was it.
Or the Hallmark Channel.
Didn't exist, John. What else is going on? 1962 this day, Sam Walton opens the very first Walmart in America, in beautiful Rogers, Arkansas.
Nice.
1962.
Yeah.
I had no idea they'd been around that long.
Oh, yeah. They've done pretty well for themselves from that one location to all the ones they have now.
Fantastic.
Well, Dan, thanks for that update.
Absolutely.
We'll have you back in here in a bit. We've got some entertainment news to get to. We've got a little water cooler talk. Also, a great story here for our bright spot of news coming up. It's a fun-filled, action-packed edition of the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Dan Farris, brought to you by SiouxFallsFireworks.org.
If you have a credit card, we'd like to help you make sure it's the best credit card for you. Take a few minutes to look at your current interest rate and see what you get for points or perks. Then go to bettercreditcards.com to see if we can help you find a better credit card. This will literally cost you nothing, and it could help you get a better credit card. If you don't have a credit card right now, you can check us out too at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Time now for Ranger Dan's Critter Corner.
Well, I'm rough, tough, and ready. I'm a heck of a man. Eat my beans and weenies from a frying pan.
He's Ranger Dan.
Easy. I'm Ranger Dan. Well, I loves to wrestle bears and lasso ducks, run over possums in my government truck.
He's Ranger Dan.
Easy. I'm Ranger Dan. Well, I loves all the campers and the animals too. If you're picking on critters, I'm coming after you.
He's Ranger Dan.
Yes, sir. I'm Ranger Dan.
Good morning, Ranger Dan.
Good morning, Ranger Dan.
Oh, it's so great to see you, you couple of little love bugs, you. Oh, fantastic to see you there, Jerry. You're looking good. Heidi.
Ranger Dan.
Heidi, I just gotta come clean here. You know, I don't have a library card, but I'm still checking you out. That stuff never gets old. Little Radio Rangers, time to get down to a little business. You know why we're here, and that's where I can impart some critter knowledge on you so you get a little more familiar with what I term as nature.
Yeah.
It's nature, but nature's neat, so I put them together. Say it with me.
Nature.
We've been working the alphabet, started with the A's, we're working our way down, animals that begin with a certain letter, and if I'm not mistaken, let's see, we got all mucked up in the H's just the other day, which would bring us to the I's, would it not?
I believe so.
The letter I, a couple animals that begin with the letter I. You got your iguana.
Oh, yeah.
You got your inchworm. You got your impala, which is a cross between a deer and a mid-range Chevrolet. You got the ibis, IBIS. That is a bird, in case you don't know.
I did not know.
You have the Indian palm squirrel, which, honest to goodness, is really nothing but a gopher with kind of a funny accent. Then you've got the Indri, INDRI. That is basically a lemur, but spelled completely different. We're going to go a little different when we're talking about eyes. We're just going to talk about insects in general.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not any specific, just insects.
There's a lot of critters there.
That starts with I. Gosh darn it, that's all there is to it. You know, a lot of insects, or bugs, crawl around.
Yeah.
Some fly.
Yes.
A few bugs can even do both, but not usually at the same time. Now, some entomologists or bug scientists estimate there could be up to dozens of different species of bugs.
Dozens?
Some of which number in the hundreds. Mind officially blown.
Yes.
But because of those unbelievable numbers of bugs, it's perfectly okay and generally recommended if you come across an insect, you should probably squash it. And you can squash it with whatever's handy, maybe a magazine, maybe a shoe, a broom, or a large rock. Well, that's all the time we've got for Ranger Dan this morning. I hope you learned something. I know, gosh darn it, I'm filled to the brim with knowledge. Little radio rangers, keep in mind there really is no cure for herpes. That's Ranger Dan helps. Say it with me.
Yes, sir.
Each month you have these things called bills. They have to be paid. It's part of being an adult, not the fun part, but it's important. So if you can find a way to cut some of these expenses, it makes that bill day a little better. At InsuranceChicken.com, we'd like to help. Our site allows you to see what several different companies have to offer, all in one place. Check out great insurance deals at InsuranceChicken.com. Is it time for you to cross the road? See if we can save you money each month at InsuranceChicken.com. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
And it's time right now for Water Cooler Talk with Mr. Dan Farris, brought to you by the Fireworks Store with a Z. And coming up here in a moment, we're going to be talking our Bright Spot of News today with Jennifer from Feeding South Dakota.
Well, it all ties in.
It does. If you stop by the Fireworks Store with some canned goods, bring them 5 or more canned goods, they'll give you 25% off your purchase.
That
Boom.
can turn
right there.
into
right
big
there.
bucks.
It
Yeah,
can.
they're up and going. Saw some great shots of the Fireworks Store that is set up over at Marlin's.
Oh, yeah.
Right over there off the T exit.
Yeah.
And they're ready to go. Have 8 great locations. They're in Brandon, Harrisburg, Hartford, Lake Madison, Renner, T, and 2 Sioux Falls locations. We just mentioned the one over by Marlin's. They're also set up at Uncle Ed's Specialty Meats, which is phenomenal. This is all local. All the dollars stay here, and I love that promotion that which you mentioned, John. You bring in the 5 or more canned goods. 25% off your total purchase, just bing bang on all the good stuff, man. Paint the sky for the 4th of July.
Absolutely.
Get it done. They're open, by the way, until the 5th.
Oh, nice.
Of July. A lot of people think, well, 4th of July, that's it. Nope, they can also sell you and get your stuff on the 5th, too. So,
cool. Yeah,
we're proud to be working with Mike Denning and the crew at the Fireworks Store, and I believe we have a link to all that information.
We do. There's a link at SiouxFallsFireworks.org, and there's also a link at at sunnyradio.com.
Okay, fantastic stuff. Speaking of which, normally this segment of the show, I dig into the deep, seedy underbelly of what's happening in Sioux Falls because I'm an investigative reporter. I'm an award-winning journalist.
Yes.
You are?
But there's a big deal coming up Saturday, and I just want to talk about it again because it's going to be huge, and we hope anyone who has the time can grab the fam or whoever and head out on the north side of Sioux Falls and catch the fireworks Saturday night.
Absolutely. And we've got everything kind of kicking off at 9. Now, if you can't be there at 9, that's okay. If you can be somewhere where you can look up in the sky, you're still probably going to see the Poet ethanol-powered Vanguard flyover. That'll be happening at 9 p.m. And if you tune in to 93.3, you'll be able to listen on the radio to hear who's up there, what they're doing, why they're doing it. It's really cool. We've done this, I think, 5 or 6 years maybe. Poet has been a part of this. And even though we're not having the event at the fairgrounds, we decided if we're doing the fireworks, we could probably do the flyover. So that was just added, I don't know, like a week ago. And I'm really glad that we were able to do it. So a huge thank you to Poet for stepping up. And then the fireworks themselves will start after 10 p.m. And it'll be a little after 10 because we got to wait for that last flight in.
Yeah, we are right next to the airport.
Yeah, it's at the very end of the runway.
Now, why that flight coming in doesn't just drive through the fireworks? Because if I'm on board that airplane,
that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, take me through the fireworks. But
it's like a good view.
We just got to kind of keep
gorgeous view.
Got to keep our powder dry until that plane lands.
Once they get through, we'll be shooting those off, and their flight is scheduled, I believe, for 10:15. They could be a little early, they could be a little late. So just be listening that night, 93.3, and you'll hear us tell you when. And then you'll notice like the sky's on fire. That's when they start. So
it's going to be a great show.
It is. Huge thank you to all of our sponsors. I've had people ask how, like as just a regular old person, how can I help? Here's 2. I'm going to just mention 2 of the many ways. All of them are listed at SiouxFallsFireworks.org. But one way, go to Grand Falls Casino today and give them $10, and they'll put it in this big clear box. All of that money goes to the fireworks. Yep. It's going to Big Paws Canine, our friends that are working with them.
You give them $10, they'll give you $10 right back for gaming.
So they'll give you a $10 credit on your card to go over and win. You could be a bazillionaire by the time it's done. Another way to do it, if you're saying, I don't want to do all that traveling, it's a lot of work. If you can hear me, if you're in South Dakota, click onto the website. I have a link at SiouxFallsFireworks.org, but you can also go right to their website, GivingHopeRaffle.com. And 25% of everything that comes in this week is going to Big Paws Canine, who are helping us do the fireworks.
Which is huge.
And this is all being conducted by our friends at Giving Hope Bingo, who they're one of the sponsors on the event as well.
And that is a raffle where you could also win.
Yeah, you could win. Right now it's like $2,300. It just keeps growing.
Yeah.
What? So you can win some money. You're helping 2 awesome nonprofits, and you're helping make the fireworks happen because those nonprofits both stepped up and said, hey, we'll help. We're going to do this.
You can't beat that.
No, that's a great way to do it. GivingHopeRaffle.com.
Thanks to folks over at Fox 7, KTTW, Stacy and Kevin and the crew for partnering with us to get the message out to. They've done an amazing job. We appreciate that.
Absolutely. And our friends at Market Beat stepped up in a big way. You can see all of the sponsors at SiouxFallsFireworks.org. 2020 has become quite an interesting year.
Many people have been cooped up for way too long.
We're excited to join hundreds of friends for a fun time in Cancun this October.
Hear awesome music from Belinda Carlisle, Cheap Trick, Billy Idol, and many more.
The Seance is at the end of October, and we are ready for a vacation. I hope you will join us.
We've been to this event for many years, and it is so much fun.
Get more information and reserve your spot at radiotravelgroup.com.
That's radiotravelgroup.com.
It's time now for a bright spot of news brought to you by Paul's Designer Showroom on Lake Lorraine in Sioux Falls. Today, we shine our bright spot of news on Feeding South Dakota. I've got Jennifer with me. How you doing, Jennifer?
Good. How are you doing?
Fantastic. You guys do some amazing things, and right now, people are out buying their fireworks, and we've been talking on the radio a lot about the fireworks stores having a thing where you donate canned goods and they give it to Feeding South Dakota. Mm-hmm. I know what you guys do because I've been following what you do for a long time, and I've been so impressed. But for people who don't know what Feeding South Dakota even is, let's talk about what your mission is and why you do what you do.
Well, our mission simply is to just end hunger in South Dakota, and we do that through lots of different programs, most notably our affiliation with Feeding America. So we are the only affiliated food bank with Feeding America in South Dakota, and our territory is all 66 counties. And so we have lots of work to do in all of those 66 counties. But we're grateful for partners like the fireworks store that are doing great food drives for us, that we can continue to put non-perishables in our food boxes that we're giving away to our mobile distributions. We also have the backpack program, and we have mobile food distributions. So we're doing lots of different things all over the state to help end hunger.
And that is such an amazing mission because there are people who without this, they would go to bed hungry, and it would be just a really, really sad thing. So it's amazing that you guys do what you do.
Well, we love doing what we do, especially if I can tell you about a gentleman that came through a couple weeks ago, and he's a new face to the work that we do, and he's someone that's been affected by COVID and lost his job for a while, and with no income coming in, and he came, and I love the fact that people can wear their masks because it maintains their anonymity for those that are uncomfortable to ask for assistance. But he said to me, things are looking up. I'm sorry, I probably only need to come one more time, but things are looking up for me. And that's exactly why we're here, for people like this gentleman that just needs us for a short period of time, just to make it work until he can get his finances back in order and get his life back on track and back to his normal. So we're just happy to do what we can do.
So how big of a change has 2020 been for Feeding South Dakota? Because I know when you look nationwide, there's been a huge impact. Are we seeing the same type of impact in South Dakota?
Well, since COVID started, as we look through the numbers since mid-March, we're serving about 2.5 times the number of households that we would typically serve. Food is still here. Sometimes it's not the food we want to distribute. Non-perishables are very challenging for us to secure. But on the flip side of that, fresh produce is so abundant. And so we've got dairy items and we've got fresh produce items to give to our folks. But, the non-perishables are needed just as much to help just sustain those grocery budgets.
So for somebody listening that maybe is in a category where they're going, boy, I sure could use some help. And don't be afraid to get the help. How do they do that? What is the first step? Do I just show up or do I do something first?
Well, for our food distributions that Feeding South Dakota is doing, you can come every Tuesday and Thursday. You can come on a Tuesday or a Thursday from 1 to 7, and we just ask that you come once every other week. You'll need to register with the Helpline Center first, and then just check in once that you arrive.
So do I call 211 or do I do it through their website?
You can go to their website, helplincenter.org, or you can call 211 and they can get you registered over the phone. And then we are located in the Fairway store, previously located at 41st Street. So you can find us here Tuesdays and Thursdays from 1 to 7.
And that's actually where we're recording this interview, and it's quite the facility. We recorded a video as well, and we did that. You're hearing this. We recorded it on Tuesday. You can see the place. Go check it out on our Facebook page. It really, really is cool. Thank you for doing what you do.
Thanks, John.
Again, Feeding South Dakota, Jennifer has been our guest. I encourage you to contribute if you can. One way you can do it right now, any one of the locations for the fireworks store, take some canned goods when you're buying your fireworks. You get a discount, and you're helping an amazing cause as well. I've got a link to all of their locations at sunnyradio.com. And a huge thank you to our friends at Paul's Designer Showroom. They are the sponsor of today's Bright Spot of News.
Small businesses are the heart of our community. As things get back to normal, I hope you'll go out of your way to do business with locally owned businesses in your area. We've been so pleased with the response of our gift card challenge that we're gonna keep this going. If you can, buy an extra gift card. You can use it yourself or give it to someone who needs a little help right now. When you buy a gift card, remember to post a photo on social media with hashtag giftcardchallenge. Learn more at giftcardchallenge.org.
And it's time right now for a little bit of entertainment news of the day with Mr. Dan Farris.
Because celebrities, with really quite a few exceptions, are fabulous.
A few exceptions. I agree.
It's my song. I can rewrite it whenever I want.
Can I show you something that happened, Dan?
To what now?
I just want to show you something. I'm absolutely amazed by this. So I fell on a sprinkler like a month ago and had to get stitches in my hand.
Remember that? You were all busted up.
I've always been able to snap my right hand. I could never snap my left.
Wow.
I can kind of snap it now. How did that happen?
Wow.
So apparently all of the rehab on my, it's kind of a wimpy snap, but I just noticed when we're snapping now, I'm like, I can snap with my left hand.
That's nice.
Something to do with the stitches, I'm sure.
I love it when you raise the bar, John. It makes me want to be a better man.
That's why I don't have an award hanging on my side of the room.
Dateline, New York.
Oh, yeah.
Hot off the desks from the Associated Press. This guy was gone back in the news, though. One of the biggest cockroaches in recent history, Harvey Weinstein.
Oh, yeah. I forgot all about him.
And his former studio's board of directors have reached a nearly $19 million settlement with literally dozens of his sexual misconduct accusers.
Oh, wow.
Apparently that's the amount they came up with, and they're going to be writing checks. The deal, if approved by judges in federal courts, would permit accusers to claim anywhere from $7,500 to $750,000. $1,000.
How many accusers are there if it's that
dozens? There are. They started lining up. It was just crazy. This is what started that whole Me Too movement, which is no longer a movement.
Oh, I think it is. I just forgot.
Yeah, watch the news, dude.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen it in a while.
Former Hollywood producer Weinstein, of course, convicted earlier this year of rape, sexual assault against 2 women, accusations of dozens of other women beginning in 2017, destroyed his entire career, basically his life, blah, 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 blah.
Is that how long that's been going on?
Yeah. Harvey's cooling his jets in the Gray Bar Motel these days. He's 68 years old. And how they come up with like arbitrary amounts like that, it's like, well, we have
$19 million.
this many people, we're going to write checks. It's 18.8 million to be exact.
That's pretty much 19.
But then based on criteria, I really don't know. But it's like, well, you get 7,500, but you get $750,000.
I don't understand that.
You know what? I don't either. But that's the news I have, and I just thought it was interesting that old Harvey cropped back up, and now you know what I know.
But what is he worth? He's worth a lot more than that, right? So it's not like this is going to.
I have no idea.
Think about
pretty worthless, if you ask me.
Well, there you go. But I'm saying when you think about the number of films and the things that he's been involved in, I'm sure he's worth a lot more than $19 million. So at the end of the day, this is probably not even going to.
Hard to say. He had an ex-wife to buy off and everything else, man.
That's true.
Yeah, he's left quite a wake of destruction.
Well, he and I are no longer on speaking terms, so I can't ask him. Then again, we've never been on speaking terms.
I befriended him months ago on Facebook.
Well, Dan, thank you very much for coming in, sir.
Absolutely.
It is the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Dan Farris, brought to you by SiouxFallsFireworks.org.
If you have a credit card, we'd like to help you make sure it's the best credit card for you. Take a few minutes to look at your current interest rate and see what you get for points or perks. Then go to bettercreditcards.com to see if we can help you find a better credit card. This will literally cost you nothing, and it could help you get a better credit card. If you don't have a credit card right now, you can check us out too at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Here's your Market Beat Minute for Thursday, July 2nd. The equities market was poised to make a big move after Wednesday's report on labor conditions from ADP. According to ADP data, the number of new jobs created in June topped 2.3 million, to come in well above estimates. The June figure was bolstered by upward revisions to the previous month that added more than 5 million jobs to the 2-month total. Needless to say, the news foreshadowed a strong NFP report and fueled the stock market melt-up. With a strong economic recovery all but assured, traders are turning their focus towards earnings. Signs are emerging that analyst community has misjudged the S&P 500 earnings potential, and that means better than expected results for the Q2 reporting cycle and upward revisions to support share prices. The peak of the season is still a few weeks away, but next week promises to bring more of the same. You can get the inside track with Wall Street's brightest minds delivered directly to your inbox every day at marketbeatminute.com.